Yo, Sanjay Uche here. People bring you my review on Dragon Ball Super episode 103. So, before getting into this, I must apologize. I haven't uploaded anything all week. I've just been kind of caught up and dealing with some other stuff. I know I have a lot of stuff to catch up on, including my Boruto review and some other stuff I actually wanted to get up. So, kind of just bear with me and thanks for supporting the channel as always. But let's get right into it. So Dragon Ball Super episode 103, of course, we do continue the Tournament of Power. My initial impressions, it was an okay episode, an okay plus. I kind of had high expectations for it, considering it was a Gohan, based on the preview for it, it was supposed to be a Gohan-centric episode. But all in all, it was okay to an okay plus. Honestly, there wasn't anything too amazing writing wise that really wowed me, and I know I'm kind of going on before kind of dissecting it, but I gotta say it's just that the Tournament of Power, there hasn't been anything too drastic that's really wowed me yet. I mean, it's been okay, but it's been okay plus at best. Let's call it that. So, whatever. So, getting right into the nitty gritty of it, the episode did, of course, advance the plot. Of course, it was centered around a bit of Android 17 and the aftermath of after he had ringed out some of the Universe 2 fighters. So we got a bit of him versus Ribrianne, but the whole basis of the episode was really supposed to be focused on Gohan and him against the Universe 10 remaining fighters, which in this episode we would find out it's only 2 left, even though I'm pretty sure we found out there are only 2 left previous episode. The pacing wasn't too bad. We've had better paced episodes, but it wasn't too bad at all, actually, because one thing I kind of stressed with my previous reviews is that the episode doesn't really stay in one place for too long. In the span of 20 minutes, it doesn't really stay one place for too long. We've got a bit of 17 and Ribrianne, a bit of Goku and the other Universe 2 girl. We got Gohan and Piccolo. We got some Botamo. So it was good. I feel like it wrapped up all it needed to wrap up in this episode pretty well. Nice pace. Characterization, I think, was a pretty good part of this episode, definitely. It was funny in the beginning seeing Android 17 kind of giving into the kind of, how should I say, the villain, quote-unquote villain role, as Ribrianne kind of calls him out on being a warrior of darkness for interrupting all of her from knocking out her comrades and interrupting their transformation sequence, and 17 being the guy that loves to play around. It was just funny seeing him kind of getting into the character of this warrior of darkness, and it's even made note of by Krillin that 17 loves to play around, so that was definitely cool. Choreography, the fights at the moment, nothing too amazing, honestly, choreography wise in this episode. For me personally, it just seems like the generic Dragon Ball, yeah, back and forth. There were some nice exchanges here and there, but overall, I don't think the choreography of this episode stood out all that to me. The art was pretty wonky in a few places. Well, not in a few. The art was kind of wonky in a lot of places. We've seen worse though, so that's. I think this is like the standard thing for Super now. I don't think it should get worse than this. But the art was, yeah. Animation wise, it was okay. So yeah, you can basically see why I say this episode is pretty much an okay to an okay plus. Definitely, I did love seeing Gohan in this episode. He definitely pulled his weight, and it was cool how we saw him ring out Botamo. And we kind of see a lot of the intellect that Gohan puts into his strategy. It's not too world breaking, but dealing with Botamo, who doesn't take damage, and who we find out his stamina doesn't go down either. Gohan basically just hits him with enough force and kind of maintains that force in his repeated punches, basically lifting Botama off the ground and firing a Kamehameha at the end, hitting him out of the ring. Basically, it's a decent strategy, I must say, considering they can't fly. So if both Tomo's feet can't touch the ground to actually escape Gohan's barrage, that was definitely cool. I like that. Definitely, I did love the teamwork aspect of this episode. Anytime we get teamwork in this episode is good. It was good seeing 17 helping out Goku when he was fighting. I don't remember her name. The other Universe 2 girl with the China punches. That was cool. And there's some other interesting tidbits like the yard trap coming in with instant transmission. That was cool too. But yeah, the episode was okay. I like that Gohan definitely pulled his weight in this episode though. And one thing I did like is how they set up. I know we kind of got us in spoilers already, but Gohan, after defeating his opponent from Universe 10, which was pretty cool, who had the ability to basically shift his internal energy, as they put it, basically key control. Well, I wouldn't control. Well, yeah, I guess key control. Basically, so his opponent can't basically read his moves. That was pretty cool. I'm going to have to basically take the hits and counter. That was pretty decent. Even though the choreography isn't all that to me for this episode, but it has some interesting concepts here and there in terms of strategy and ability. So that was cool. And another interesting thing before I get back into this is Goku stealing 17's line from last week's episode. That was that was definitely cool. It was a cool scene there. Goku blasting her almost out of the ring. Definitely Gohan beating the last word of Universe 10 though. Him seeing the picture, the locket of the guy's family. I definitely think they're going to build up to something. Some mortals versus the gods. I mean, it's been speculated to death at this point, so it's nothing new there. But I do like setup there, and I hope there's some payoff there. Like I just don't want him to like go on. Looks at it, he feels a bit guilty. I don't want him to stop there. I want Gohan to kind of speak out eventually. So I hope that goes, because by character, Gohan's I wouldn't say a pacifist, but by nature is gentle. So I hope they kind of build on that a bit more there. But yeah, definitely an okay to an okay plus episode. Nothing too drastic. I must say, of course, I have been seeing the spoilers for not only this episode I'm reviewing, but next week, and regarding the whole Super Saiyan God situation and that form returning. Of course, some people, we as community kind of thought that it was might be a mistake, but based on the preview, at this point, it's confirmed Super Saiyan God's returning. And that was confirmed by the Dragon Ball Super writer on Twitter. My thoughts on it. Beyond this review, like my thoughts on Super Saiyan God returning though. Like I'm glad it's returning, honestly, but it just feels like Toei wants to execute a plot point that makes sense, but at this point it's kind of late in the game for them to be pulling out. It's like I'm kind of speculating that the reason they're going to bring Super Saiyan God back, and like in universe, you're going to say he's using it to save stamina. But we've seen him go blue already. So why not? Why didn't he use God before then? You get what I'm saying? I feel like that's the thing that's going to be the in-universe explanation. But it just feels like Toei is bringing out this plot point too late. But let's wait for the episode and see. I don't know. I'm just not wowed by this episode at all. But anyway, let me know what you thought about the episode. Let me know what you think about Super Saiyan God returning next week. I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure since with these episodes dwindling down, the tournament dwindling down, and all the fighters left and right being eliminated, I'm pretty sure the tournament's going to heat up, and my expectations, I'll actually start to feel wowed, as I put it. Rate, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought about this review, and I'll see you in the next one.